Welcome to another edition of ASU TV-13 News Brief. I'm your host, Destiny Bowie. Women's History Month is an annual declared month that highlights the contributions of women to events in history and contemporary society. We celebrate Women's History Month to remind ourselves of the accomplishments of women throughout the years to our culture and society. From science to politics, it's a chance to reflect on the trailblazing women who lead the way for change. Anisha Jackson sat down with Dr. Felicia M. Nave to talk about her story.
As you may know, Women's History Month is celebrated throughout the month of March to honor the contributions of trailblazing women across the nation. At Alcorn State University, Dr. Felicia M. Nave became the first female president. I stopped by her office as she shares insight and her reactions when she heard the news that she would become the first female president at Alcorn State University.
So my first reaction was I was very overwhelmed, but definitely surprised, elated, and humbled by the opportunity and that the board and the commissioner and the committee in general thought enough of me, my experiences, what I've been able to accomplish, that I would be the right person in this moment to lead my alma mater, Alcorn State University.
On April 24, 2019, the Institution of Higher Learning announced Dr. Felicia M. Nave as Alcorn's 20th president. Dr. Nave is a Prentice, Mississippi native who earned a bachelor's degree in chemistry from Alcorn in 1996. She thoroughly explains the highlight of her presidential career thus far as interacting with students and providing access so they can be the best version of themselves.
So I've been inspired by women since birth. I'm very respectful and cognizant of the role my grandmother played in my life. So my mom and my aunts are also individuals who are extremely important to me and who I aspire to be. And as I've moved into my professional career, at the time when I became an assistant professor, there were only 3 other African American women who were in higher ed. And I knew all 3 of them, Christine Grant, Gilda Barbarino, and Tanya Peoples. And they were very insightful and very much willing to share with me what their experiences have been, and to support my success moving through. And so I've been very fortunate to come across a number of women who have helped shape me, helped support me, and women who stood in the gap to push me forward even when I didn't know that they were doing those things on my behalf. I think it's important to acknowledge and highlight women during Women's History Month and throughout the year. If we look at our history in general, women have not always been acknowledged, and even still, there are a number of ceilings, doors that are shut, and barriers that stand in the way for what they're trying to accomplish. But in including women in the conversation and including women in leadership positions, we actually do a better job of enriching the world and coming up with ideas to solve problems and solutions. And so it's important to me that as a woman, that we highlight and recognize the contributions other women have made, how they've made a difference. And it's also important because I have a daughter, and I think about and look toward her future and what that looks like, and that she recognizes and understands the contributions that others before her have made, and how that will help her in attaining whatever her goals are in life.
As the inauguration of the 20th president is quickly approaching, Dr. Nave shares what she is most looking forward to at the celebration.
I'm looking forward to seeing the people, but I'm also looking forward to seeing the elation and the gratitude in faces of my kids, of my husband, and of my family, who without a doubt have never wavered but been by my side to get where we are.
Dr. Nave is challenging all young female leaders to be bold, be brave, and be unafraid to challenge the status quo. This is Anisha Jackson reporting for ASU TV-13.
Alcorn State University has partnered with local agencies to help ensure everyone has a chance to get vaccinated. The university took a significant step in fighting this pandemic by hosting a COVID-19 site for the community. President Dr. Felicia M. Nave stated Alcorn is doing all it can to assist in the fight.
We know that our community members are not just our neighbors. They are part of the Alcorn family. And for us, that means being there in times of need, which is why Alcorn State University is doing all it can to assist our greater family in the fight against COVID-19. We are a good local partner, and we are positioned and committed to becoming a local leader. We will be a resource to which the entire region can turn. Our close-knit family plays a significant role in the university's success. So it's only fitting that we return the favor with an initiative that will help protect and safeguard people's health and well-being, especially those who are the most vulnerable. The vaccine is the key to us getting our lives back. It allows us to embrace our loved ones again. It eliminates the fear of being infected or possibly infecting others by simply being in each other's presence. It makes way for us to enjoy the simple pleasures like seeing a movie or having a dinner at a restaurant. The vaccine is the key to return to normalcy.
Reading is typically an individual activity done silently. Although on occasion a person reads out loud for other listeners or reads out loud for one's own use for better comprehension. Before the reintroduction of separated text in the late Middle Ages, the ability to read silently was considered rather remarkable. Is reading becoming a thing of the past? Heather Alkmadad investigates.
Reading is a term often to describe a person's intelligence, and this could be the key to a successful future. Once an everyday necessity, reading has become one of the least options for informative sources for the majority of people. It's scientifically proven that reading boosts your emotional and fluid intelligence and increases your vocabulary. And according to GoodyReader.com, only 28% of Americans read 11 or more books in a year, and 28% proudly admit to not reading even once. With all these great benefits of reading, why don't Americans read more? I asked a few students on the campus of Alcorn State University if they read on their leisure time, why and why not.
I do read if I have to, but on my leisure time I don't like to read, only because it's not that interesting to me. I'm more of a creative person, or I like math and science type stuff. But if I have to read in order to learn something, I will. But on a leisure time, no. I have to be really interested to read.
Yeah, I do read and everything. I like the literatures and everything, mainly history and stuff, talking about the past. I feel like humans, if we can learn from our past, we can grow as better people today, so I like to read history a lot.
I do read because I like to expand my knowledge about not widely talked about topics such as like racist ideas and the construct of where they came from. So I like to read to expand my knowledge in that aspect, and also in spirituality, and I find that a lot of books help me to get a better understanding of them.
Dr. Murray Sugars, professor of English and the director of the Alcorn Writing Center, shares his thoughts on people not reading as much anymore.
They read a lot more than we realize. Because we live in a digital age. I mean, we're reading all the time, but I think we're reading differently than we used to maybe, and that has to do with being in this digital age. So the way that we may be used to reading now is reading things on a surface level, but maybe decades ago, certainly before the digital age, maybe we were reading more deeply and thoughtfully. And I think parents have a lot to do with that. Like, if you raise your children reading stories to them, and then not just reading them, but reading actively. I do suspect that we read differently than we used to, and we need to receive training on that, and it can happen in the home, and it certainly should happen in school.
Frequently passed around tips for getting back into reading is to first identify why you stopped reading, build reading into your schedule, join a group, and set goals. This has been Heather Almagdad reporting.
The Lead Listening Society held a ceremony to acknowledge its new initiates. Jasmine Stevenson was there.
The Leading Listening Society of Lambda Sigma Nu held their new initiate ceremony March 4th in the Clinton Briscoe Gold Room. President of the organization and Master of Ceremony, Xavier Lewis, opened the program following Lamar Scott giving words of wisdom. Shortly afterwards, students were officially initiated and received their certificate and pen following an oath they took to the society. Malia Harris, a junior business administration major, told us what she wants to give back to the society.
To just put in a perspective on how the way I think and just let everyone know that I understand and I'm open ears to whatever they have to say.
Dr. John Ikwabike explained the meaning and the benefits of the program.
We bring greater awareness to the greatest skill never taught. Number one benefit is greater awareness. That is half the battle. If you can realize that, listen, I have come to this institution that without ever having taken a listening class. I've been admitted to an institution of higher learning, but I've never had a listening class. That should pique a student's awareness that this is something I need.
Business administration major Nigel Ecola spoke on why she joined the group.
It would be what they stand for. When I think about what they stand for, my first thing that comes to mind is the Bible, because even the Bible stresses the importance of listening.
There were a total of 18 students inducted into the Leading Listening Society. This is Jasmine Stevenson reporting for ASU TV-13.
Thanks, Jasmine. Trend Modeling Squad held a fashion show to showcase different styles from around the yard. Keasia Smith takes us down the runway.
Today I am here at the E.E. Simmons Gymnasium where Trend is hosting their very first fashion show themed Street Couture. The show featured clothing from Makeup Messiah, Big Marvo, Trap Fashion, and Divas Divine. There was also a special appearance from Jackson State University Modeling Squad.
I serve as the president of the Insatiable Modeling Squad. We're here at Alcorn University at the show that Trend put on. We're here. We came to walk. They invited us. We felt like this show was bomb.com. Everybody gave what they were supposed to give.
Overall, I feel like we did very good. I was like impressed. I was like, I don't know how it's going to go, but they really put it off. And I had faith in them, so I'm proud of everybody that was in the show. All the models, they did like awesome.
This is what co-founder Raymond Bex had to say.
I felt like tonight's show was a success. I'm very proud of Trend and all of the hard work that they put into this show. As you can see, it was a success. I want to thank the models, thank the vendors, everyone for coming out. If you weren't at this Trend show, I hope that you're at the next. Please come out, support Trend. They did their thing tonight, and that's it.
Overall, the show was amazing and filled with good vibes. I'm your host, Keasia Smith, reporting from ASU TV-13.
WPRL 91.7 FM is home to mass communication students and surrounding residents for live radio broadcasts including news, gospel, jazz, and the latest hip-hop and R&B. Tune in to student talk shows as well as daily programming. Be sure to check out the Campus Chronicle ASU.com for the latest Alcorn news, sports, and weather. This concludes our newscast. Thank you all for watching. Tune in next time.